Hello everyone, it is a beautiful day up here at the Alma Llama. In today's video, which happens to be our first episode, yay! I wanted to talk about our big picture and where we are today, how we got here, and where we plan to go from here. Most of these videos going forward are going to be with me and my pup Eva as we progress along with our build of our log home and our mountain homestead. This is a joint endeavor, a joint venture with my better half, my partner, my wife Christine. However, she has a day job that keeps her pretty busy down on the Front Range, downtown Denver, most of the time during the week. I'm going to do my best to get her up here on the weekends and help out as much as she can, because I'm going to need it going forward. So additionally, we have a handful of adult children that we're going to hopefully, recruit to come up here and help out. We also have a younger one who's in high school. He's a freshman, so a little young, but we're going to try to get him up here for most of the summer and teach him, a lot of good life skills that will carry forward for many years to come. Looking back on how we got to where we are today, we purchased this piece of property back in the spring of 2019. We also spent most of that summer camping on the property. We built a trail system. We explored every nook and cranny that this property has to offer. We also rehabbed a 1960s vintage camper trailer that came with the property. We were super excited to have this. It created a nice space for us to hang out, stay warm, stay dry, have meals, play games. It really, really came in handy that first year. Later on in the summer, we had our well dug, and we were able to strike water at about 180 feet, which was nice. It kept the cost of the well down at a nice affordable level. We also had a well pump installed. This allowed us to pull the water out with the assistance of a 240 volt generator we picked up. It was just great to have clean water for cooking, for cleaning, and maybe most important for putting out our campfires at night so that we didn't create any fire hazards up here on the mountain. Later that fall, we started to think about the type of home we wanted to build. We soon narrowed in on a log home. We were thinking about 3 to 4 bedrooms, probably about 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. And with that, we thought we better get in contact with an on-site water treatment system engineer and make sure that we get that designed correctly for the type of home we wanted to build. So we had one come out. They dug a couple test pits, tested the soils, and were then able to design a system, that would meet our needs for the type of home we wanted to build. At the beginning of 2020, and for a brief moment, we thought about starting our build that year. The thought was to excavate, have the foundation installed in the fall, and let it sit over the winter, and then start again when the spring arrived in 2021. Then COVID hit, and our plans were put on hold. We thought we'd wait at least a year and then reevaluate again and see if 2021 was going to be a better year to start. However, 2020 wasn't a total loss. What we decided to do instead was build a temporary wedding venue. Go figure. My son and his bride-to-be were thinking about getting married that year. They started to think about having a destination wedding, maybe down in Mexico, maybe in the Caribbean. And then with the travel restrictions and everything that COVID brought us, they started to rethink, and they came to me and said, hey, what about having the wedding up at the Alma Llama? I tell you, I couldn't have been happier. I was like ecstatic. It was like, yes, let's do it. We can build a lot of cool stuff, let's go for it. Let's do it. And so the plan was put in motion. We were going to have a wedding up on the Alma Llama, middle of summer. Fingers crossed that, we could pull it off and people could come. But that was the plan. We were going to build it. I know it was a very tough year for a lot of people with COVID. It was a very tough year, and we were super blessed to be able to spend, that summer together, with our family and loved ones, and remain healthy. And, I know that wasn't the story for a lot of other people, and our hearts truly go out to those who lost loved ones, who had to go through some of the most difficult times that COVID had to bring. It was a tough year. Looking back on last year, well, this was the year that we were going to start to build. We were done with 2020, and this was the year we were going to start. The plan was to not wait until the fall to put the foundation in. We were going to start as soon as winter ended. As spring came, the snow thawed, we were going to start the excavation, have the foundation put in, and soon after that, erect the log home and hopefully get it dried in the end of fall, the beginning of winter. Well, it didn't turn out that way. It became apparent pretty quick that building a home for your first time was a pretty difficult challenge, and there was a lot of logistical challenges, a lot of supply chain issues, supply chain delays, subcontractor availability, you name it. Weather was a factor. It became apparent pretty quick that we were falling behind schedule pretty fast, and needless to say, the stress level was rising pretty significantly with me. I was having difficulty sleeping. I was waking up in the middle of the night with nightmares about not having these materials, not having anybody show up. Ultimately, I think my worst nightmare was that I was trying to put a roof on this house in the middle of winter with 60-mile-an-hour winds, below freezing temps, and that was just not what I was hoping for with this build. It didn't take long for me to come to a realization that I needed to slow this first year of the build down to a more manageable level, one that was more enjoyable, and so therefore, I made the decision that we weren't going to throw up the log home that year. We were going to do everything else. We were going to get the infrastructure in, so we were going to get the hole dug. We were going to get the foundation poured. We were going to get the underslab plumbing put in. We were going to get a perimeter drain system on the house, the radiant heat. We're going to get the flat work done in the basement and the garage. We were looking at getting the on-site water treatment system put in, the leach field, the septic tank. We also were going to connect the well to the house. We wanted to put a propane tank in the ground, get that line run to the house. We also wanted to get the driveway installed, graded, and last but not least, we wanted to get the electrical system to the property line, and maybe even have the line run up to the foundation. We got all of that done except for the electrical. XL Energy kind of fell behind. They ran out of time as the construction season ended. Well, that basically brings us up to current time here today. As you can see, we're on site. It's the first day of spring, as we mentioned earlier. The snow is starting to melt around us. It's getting pretty muddy and soggy. It's been a pretty quiet winter for us up here. We've been doing a few things here and there. Primarily, I've been trying to keep the driveway plowed so that we don't get a big drift buildup that will take a significant amount of time to thaw out. We're trying to be very careful with the driveway because that road base is pretty soft. It didn't get a lot of moisture at the end of the season last year, so for it to harden up. So if you get a truck and a plow on there, it's just going to throw it off to the side, and we don't want that. So I've been up here with the snow blower, whenever it snows, kind of knocking down the snow so that we don't have that problem, because as soon as we can, we want to start framing our floor system. And that's one of the things I'm up here today doing. We have some anchor bolts that were damaged during the backfill process. Our excavator got a little reckless with his skid steer and bumped a few of them. They tell me this is pretty common, but in any case, I'm up here rethreading the bolts and gonna try to straighten them with the pipe, and if that works out, hopefully then shortly after today, we'll take receipt of our floor framing materials. For the next couple of videos and episodes, we're going to look at some of our milestones and accomplishments over the past year, as well as a current look of what we are doing today as we are getting ready for the big build this season. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and being part of our journey up here at the Alma Llama. If you'd like to support our channel, please be sure to like and subscribe below. You can also jump over to our Patreon site, as there's other options over there as well. And with that said, that's a wrap for this week. We'll see you next time up here at the Alma Llama.